What's up, family? Welcome back to another legendary top of the movie reaction video, man. I'm not going to do no more talking. As always, I take the information face value. I break it down to my understanding, and then we have a good, productive, positive conversation in regards to the information I receive in face value, let alone spark everyone's curiosity just to create a positive conversation, man. That's all. Based on the creditable information received. Shout out to Doug in Exile. He does an amazing job of always breaking things down where it's simplistic form or simple forms where we could just understand and have a great conversation in regards of the matter. So I'm not going to do no more talking. Let's just straight into the video.
I don't want to report on this, but the Democrats are going completely nuts on Sam Alito, Supreme Court Justice. We're going to go into just how loopy, conspiratorial they are.
Mr. Samuel Alito should be impeached. First, we learn that he flew an upside-down American flag outside his house, a stop-the-steal symbol of Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election.
Imagining things right here on the show. It's going to be hilarious, including Chuck Schumer waving a communist flag. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots mock the Democrats into the ground because they have nowhere to stand condemning Alito about any flag, given the flags they've flown all over our country at every institution, even on bases. Let's go.
Are asked about this, and they don't see that they're a big deal. They'll say that this is overblown in the media. Do you see any innocent explanation for the flying of these two flags at two separate homes during two separate periods?
Now, this is MSNBC has on Hakeem Jeffries, which is like the blind leading the blind.
But in the days since news of this second right-wing flag broke, there has been no response from Alito.
So basically, the flag that's upside down, that was sort of displayed in the same thing that happened, you know, with the riot and so forth. There's been this type of conversation for an impeachment due to the flagpole representing, or I should say, in a similar form, bringing back the memory of, you know, when the riot took place and the swarm took place at the, you know.
No response from the court or its Chief Justice John Roberts, who now faces a growing chorus of voices calling for him to appear before Congress and explain the conduct of the members of his court.
Let's get to the flags first. Here's the flag that was flown over Alito's vacation home. It's called An Appeal to Heaven. It's a historic flag. An Appeal to Heaven. This is called the Pine flag, which none of
I never heard this flag before, so this teaching me something new.
Report on this because they don't want to tell you the actual history of this amazing flag. It was one of the flags used in the American Revolution. The flag featured a pine tree with the motto, An Appeal to God, or more commonly used was the motto, An Appeal to Heaven. This flag was originally used by a squadron of 6 cruisers commissioned under George Washington's authority as commander-in-chief of the Continental Army in October of 1775. So this is commissioned, this is George Washington, and of course MSNBC and New York Times, they do not care.
I would say it has become a symbol of right-wing Christian extremism.
I feel like they go into the simple fact of division, and at the end of the day, I just promote unity, love, and peace and positivity. But like I said, we're just taking the information. But I think it's when they swarm the Capitol or so forth, I think they are trying to connect that the way the flag was represented, not the pine tree flag, but the regular, you know, U.S. flag, and how it was presented. They're trying to make that a symmetric and line that up to fall in line in connection with the same flag that was displayed from the Capitol being swarmed, I feel like. But let's keep going.
Christian supremacy, of aggressive Christian nationalism, especially built around ideas of spiritual warfare.
So let's continue with the blathering that is Hakeem Jeffries.
Do not see any non-nefarious or innocent explanation. And if there is one, we haven't heard it from Supreme
The
Court
person.
Justice Alito.
They're trying to pressure Alito into defending himself, which I would absolutely ignore these people. They are not dignified. Do not dignify them with a response.
I feel like on top of it, it's just like he's saying ignore them because they don't even have the credentials, let alone be credible enough to even be worth responding to. Because at the end of the day, look, my man knows the law and there's no ignorance for it. So they want him to defend himself in regards to him being in a position where he knows his rights, so to say, I believe.
Haley, this is just another partisan smear against Justice Alito because he's an outstanding justice who upholds the Constitution and the laws as it's written. He doesn't bow to left-wing pressure. He's under no obligation to recuse from cases because of a flag his wife flies. And for that matter, I want to say that Martha Ann Alito is a great patriot. I commend her for flying a patriotic flag that goes back to George Washington.
Okay, family, comment down below. You know, I don't know everything. I know a little about a lot. Comment down below the simple term of a patriot and how individuals view it in the simplest terms. I'm curious to see your definition on patriot. Those words seem to fly around a lot. Is it similar to a conservative person? You know, a more private, spiritual person? I'm curious.
Matter, I think I'm going to start flying it outside of my office here in the Senate.
Here's 3 headlines, though. CBS News, Senate Democrats seek meeting with Chief Justice John Roberts after Alito flag controversy. They know that they probably have better inroads with Chief Justice because he's more sensitive. Here's Rolling Stone. Dem senators request meeting with Chief Justice Roberts over Alito. And then
You should never have sensitive leadership because then it absolves the same. Well, it doesn't really absolve. It just puts off the simple fact, and they feel like it absolves them from actually having logical stance and logical action taking place and not sensitive, emotional, impulsive action take place, which you cannot lead in that way because it leads to destruction, right?
Fox News, SCOTUS Chief Roberts pressured to force Alito recusal ahead of Trump immunity decision. That's what this is really about, is they don't want Trump to have immunity over the J6 stuff.
It's not been forthcoming. I think his only response was to try and throw his wife under the bus, which was extraordinary in and of itself for anyone to do, let alone a Supreme Court justice.
This man can't even speak. He can't even put 2 words together. And Hakeem Jeffries is actually pretty dumb. But here's an article that helps explain, which he has access to. This is here on Media Eye. Justice Alito claims his wife hung the coup flag because neighbor called her a C word. Now, neighbors this is during the Trump stuff. I'm not going to read the rest of this article because I don't want to flag my channel, but they called her the C word. They were outrageously vicious to her. Because they went after the Supreme Court justice's wife, which is what Democrats always do. They can't hit the man, so they go after the.
It's all a form of reaction. And the best way is to not react, right? And sometimes some people will go the lowest of the lowest to do that.
These are hypocrites. They pretend to be pro-woman. They are absolutely not. They went after Ginny Thomas. Remember, Clarence Thomas's wife. And now they're going after Alito's wife.
Who, by the way, is having to deal.
Who is Ginny Thomas? See, they be teaching me things. I never knew, man.
Pending cases before the Supreme Court that involve the insurrectionist in chief, Donald Trump.
By the way, those court cases are whether if Trump committed insurrection yet. It hasn't been decided yet. And Hakeem Jeffries is already calling Trump insurrectionist in chief as if he's guilty.
Why is it so quick to connect another man's actions with another man's business in regards to his wife and a flagpole that she held in a vacation home? I feel like they always find a way to tie something in that has nothing to do with something else. And let alone, I don't even know what that man is trying to explain, let alone what we already know in regards to the flagpole being something that individuals feel shouldn't be put up in the way he is in a position of power. So they feel like at this standpoint, being in Supreme Court, that you need to be discarded. So
before the Supreme Court, hold on, Hakeem Jeffries. We got to still weigh into this. And no, he has never once been charged with insurrection.
Involve people who violently assaulted the Capitol as part of the effort to undermine the peaceful transfer of power for the first time in American history.
That's a neat narrative and a neat fiction. They keep repeating it, doesn't make it true. We have no proof of that. Hasn't been established.
It hasn't been established.
It's still
yet.
to go before the
It hasn't been established yet, and it hasn't been proven yet from a factual and a court of law.
Supreme Court. And he's already saying, but the
And basically, Doug is like, whoa, man, pump your brakes. You over there trying to say, oh, at the end of the day, this is a sensitive thing in regards of the flag because of what happened at the Capitol, and it's not has been a peaceful transition of power, which was the first time it happened. What is this correlation coming to, bro?
should act as if, it all went our way, and it's not going to go his way.
And that is why this is a serious issue. Part of the challenge that we confront.
Look at her face to the left. I don't even know who she is. And what is the pastor doing in this? I mean, I guess because the spiritual flag, I get it, the spiritual warfare. But let's see, man.
Moment is that the extreme MAGA Republican majority in the House of Representatives has zero interest.
Now, they have zero interest in repeating your lie and treating it seriously. And he used that the MAGA Republicans, MAGA Republicans, the bad guys.
In exercising any oversight authority over the out-of-control members of the Supreme Court, which is one of the things that will be before the American people on the ballot in November.
And that's another mistake that Hakeem Jeffries made. He said
how a situation that's being held from a legal standpoint has to do with anything of the election. Interesting.
Angry that his own institution is not running oversight on the Supreme Court, but they still have to vote on it. He just said in November to decide if they're going to allow another branch of government to have oversight authority over the Supreme Court. See, he did this twice now, where he acted like he's already proven his case. It's already been made into law.
And then turn around and already explain the process in which the process hasn't even taken place yet. Very hypocritical.
No, it has not been made into law, has not been voted on. We'll probably lose because it's lunatic to put the Supreme Court underneath either the presidency to have him adjudicate. They're just
just sums it up right here. Leave that man alone. He know his law. He's a law-abiding citizen. He's not harming nobody or harming the community. Continue to spread peace, love, and positivity. His wife took her own actions to portray her spiritual belief. Harming no one, not pressuring or oppressing anyone to fall to her beliefs or to sit there and have to follow her beliefs. And at the end of the day, man, I don't know how that fought in line with something that took place at the Capitol that still has to take place from a standpoint of the Supreme Court being oversaw, instead of the parties that may be, or instead of the individuals that may be trying to overexert their power and utilize it in another branch of power or a branch of government or a branch, the branch within the ecosystem of how the ladder of power is distributed. Stop trying to utilize your position to oversee and be superior than another position in a branch of power because you want things to go your way. Sound like a pouty little child, if you ask me. Comment down below, guys, how you feel. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed my analysis and what I received from the information along the value that I have learned and extract from the video. It just seemed like they're trying to overexert and utilize a way of in regards of making someone to flock to their own liking to what they want to happen in regards of a flagpole. That's just what it seems like. But comment down below how you guys feel about it, what you guys think about it, positive comments, creating a positive conversation. And like I always say, family, until next time, peace.